Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Now, let me take you back to February when Jesse Bam Rodriguez came in as a late replacement against Carlos Cuadras and won the WBC super flyweight world title. He jumped up 2 weight divisions and beat Cuadras, who went into that fight with 39 wins, 4 defeats and 1 draw. And Mexico's Cuadras, although he was 32, 33, by no means past it, probably on the downside of his career, but he's coming off a defeat to Juan Francisco Estrada. But he had good wins, he'd lost twice to Estrada. First time on points, he'd beaten McWilliams Arroyo. He had lost on points to Chocolatito, Roman Gonzalez. So he'd been in with the very best, and he was expected to kind of, toy with Jesse Bam Rodriguez, but the opposite happened. Rodriguez floored him and picked up the WBC title. Now, a lot of people were saying, this kid, by the way, was only 21 at the time, the youngest world champion of either sex, and the first world champion to be born in the 21st century. Don't some of us feel old? Yes, we do. But, people were saying, well, maybe Cuadras had seen better days. And also, by the way, Bam had taken the place of Srisaket Sor Rungvisai in that match, that proposed match with Cuadras. But people were saying maybe Cuadras had seen better days, so on and so forth. So that brings us to the young man. He turned 22, I think in April, was it? A couple of months after the victory over Cuadras. And in he goes with Srisaket Sor Rungvisai, former champion, twice the victor over Chocolatito, once by 4th round knockout, once on points, close points decision. And without question, proven to be the hardest hitter in the super flyweight division, and a guy who'd fought at super flyweight for a long time. This was only Jesse Rodriguez's second fight at super flyweight. Like I say, he jumped up from light fly. It was astonishing to watch this young man, all 22 years of him, outwork, beat up, and stop in 8 rounds Srisaket Sor Rungvisai. An amazing performance by this very, very precocious young fighter, a massive talent. And yeah, this really was a star being born, because fighters mature at different ages. Some of them are very, very precocious talents. One thinks of Wilfred Benitez is the obvious one. He beat a very, very good champion in Antonio Cervantes, at only 17, 3-weight world champ by the time he was 22, I think it was, 21, 22. But burnt very, very brightly, but burnt out very quickly and had a rather tragic demise, certainly post-career as well as his career itself. Let's hope the same doesn't happen to Bam Rodriguez, because this kid is very, very special indeed. Before the fight, Sor Rungvisai apparently said, according to the commentary team on DAZN, that I dare you to stand in front of me and have a fight with me. And Bam Rodriguez said, all right, we'll do that. Because from the word go, although he wasn't being reckless, he wasn't being cavalier, he wasn't being stupid, he was boxing, not conservatively, boxing really quite proactively, and he wasn't hanging his chin out or doing anything stupid, but he was standing either just outside range or within range and matching Sor Rungvisai for aggression. Sor Rungvisai, the heavier-handed man, supposedly. Yeah, he was the heavier-handed man, definitely. Obviously, you can't hurt what you can't hit, or you can't hurt what you can't hit cleanly. When he was firing punches, they looked very, very weighty, but the timing and the speed and the variety all belonged to Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who, and I think it was the end of the second round, landed a check right hook. By the way, Bam is a southpaw. He landed a check right hook, which knocked Sor Rungvisai off balance, didn't touch down, but nevertheless, it was sort of portent of things to come, really. Sor Rungvisai kept going forward, kept firing heavy punches, but was certainly being out jabbed. Bam's jab was on point. Bam was landing a variety of punches. This kid has just got such a high ring IQ and is so mature for his age. It's almost like he's been boxing for, at this level for 10 years. He was picking the punches beautifully, throwing the right punches at the right time, keeping Sor Rungvisai off balance, unable to really plant his feet and land anything of any weight. He would land a punch, Bam, this is, would land a punch and then sidestep beautifully to leave Sor Rungvisai thrashing away at fresh air. And gradually, as the rounds went on, you could see Sor Rungvisai was slipping into that, kind of chasing a fly with a rolled up newspaper sort of mode, and getting more and more frustrated. And in the 7th round, Bam finally landed, let me get this right now, it was, being a southpaw, it was a what was it now? Was it a right hook? No, it was a left hook. I think it was a left hook. I could have that wrong. I think it was a left hook, but it was in the 7th round. And finally, Sor Rungvisai span and touched down onto the floor. He sort of spun round and he was knocked forward, I think. Was he knocked forward on his side? I've just watched this fight, so I haven't watched it back. But either way, it was a knockdown in the 7th round. And when Sor Rungvisai got straight back up, and he wasn't hurt as such. It was almost like death by 1,000 cuts. You could see the sort of demoralized atmosphere descend upon him, that demoralized look on his face, his look in his eyes. It was like, I can't do anything with this kid. Bam Rodriguez didn't have the level of power, certainly not the level of one-punch power that Sor Rungvisai had, but he was just grinding the guy down mentally as well as physically. It was like Sor Rungvisai was thinking, I just can't hit him. I just can't hit him cleanly. I can't keep him down. I can't pin him down. I can't get him anywhere near the ropes. When he does slip out of range, he's doing it voluntarily. When I move in, I'm getting clocked with jabs, with counters, I just can't do anything with this guy. And that kind of quiet, almost silent frustration really took him totally out of the fight long before that 7th round, actually. By the 5th round, he was flailing badly, Sor Rungvisai. And then it became a question of, is Bam going to be able to stop him? Because he was certainly beating him up, slowly but surely, really sort of grinding him down. And in the 8th round, that's when the boom was lowered, because again, it was all Bam. It was, whatever he wanted to do in that ring, he was able to do. And of course, his confidence had been growing incrementally. Round by round by round, he'd be getting more and more confident, a bit more cavalier, a lot more busy. And sure enough, having had Sor Rungvisai on the floor in the 7th round, he then decided, okay, I've got him where I want him. Now it's time to really close the show. And he lowered the boom very well, because he was firing punches in bunches, stinging. He was literally like a hornet zipping around someone and stinging them, and then moving to the other side, stinging them. And poor old Sor Rungvisai, you felt sorry for the guy. I mean, I think he's 35 now. So you can argue he's seen better days. Yeah, no question. But I didn't expect him to be dominated like this. And all that experience seemed to count for absolutely nothing. He was just in there with this whiz kid who was supremely confident, was was cautious. He's never at any point did he run, Bam. He was cautious, intelligent when Sor Rungvisai was fresh. But as the rounds went on, he grew more and more into his stride, more and more confident, a bit more cavalier, although at no point was he ever defensively lax. And in the 8th round, he got Sor Rungvisai on the ropes and then just let it all hang out. Punches, punch after punch, right, left, right, left, right, left. Sor Rungvisai completely bewildered, totally demoralised, and the referee finally jumped in and stopped it. No complaint from Sor Rungvisai. Bam fell to the canvas, totally elated. Rightly so, a terrific performance. It's such a mature performance from such a young fighter. It was a joy to watch. You got to feel a bit for Sor Rungvisai, who's been such a great warrior, has scored some fantastic wins, being a champion. But, you know, there's a new sheriff in town. And as is always the case, the old must give way to the new. The old must give way to the young. And there's no shame in giving way to the young when the young are that talented. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is a genuine star in the making, and unless he proves to be one of those fighters who flashes very brightly, very briefly, and then burns out, I mean, this kid's pound for pound material. He's very, very good indeed. Can he beat Chocolatito? I mean, I love Chocolatito. He's probably my favourite fighter around today. He's been my favourite fighter for many years, actually, to be truth be told, but I would still favour Chocolatito, unless Chocolatito gets old overnight. But make no mistake about it, it would be very, very competitive. And my God, if this kid beats Chocolatito, I mean, the world's his oyster. Then, I mean, he would already have virtually a Hall of Fame resume. I mean, I suppose people are going to say, well, all these guys, you know, Cuadras, Sor Rungvisai, Chocolatito, they're all old men. Well, you know what? They only became old. Chocolatito, we've yet to see, but Cuadras and Sor Rungvisai only became, in inverted commas, old because Jesse Bam Rodriguez made them old. Up to this point, they've looked pretty decent, maybe a little bit past their best, but still real formidable opponents. Yeah, I can't sing this kid's praises high enough. I'm not going to get carried away. You know, it's like you get someone like Shakur Stevenson and people already classed him as being an all-time great and all this. Look, I'm old enough to have seen a lot of fighters who are shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame collapse very dramatically. I'm not going to make that mistake. Not with Shakur and not with Jesse Bam Rodriguez, but this kid's a bit special. This fight was on DAZN. Go and watch it. You'll love it. You'll love watching this young star being born. Terrific young fighter. Commiserations to Srisaket Sor Rungvisai. He's a credit to Thai boxing. He's been a great champion, but, you know, all things must pass. Go watch this fight. It's well worth your time. And yeah, DAZN continues to put on some very, very good cards. Very good cards indeed. It is the future, this whole app business, you know. And DAZN, if they can keep their head above water, I know they're still losing money, but if they can keep on hanging in there, the quality of their product is far superior to Sky, Top Rank, or anyone else. That's not to say that everyone else's product is bad, but DAZN they've got some great young fighters, you know, on their books who are going to really tear up some trees. So we'll go watch this fight and let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about Bam. Let me know what you think about the whole light flyweight, super flyweight division. I thought this was terrific stuff. Leave your comments below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It gets the numbers up. You can hit the like button as well. That always helps the channel. Thank you for listening as always. Much appreciated. We will speak again soon. And Jesse Bam Rodriguez against Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Doesn't it make you lick your lips? Speak soon.